All right, it's all sanded up, profiled, and sealed. Stupid glare, but I mean, this wood is gonna look awesome once we flood coat it, which is just a thin layer of epoxy over the whole top. But it's messy, so we have plastic down now. This piece is gonna be super awesome. Oh, and this one. Anyway, time to mix. Hey look, Roger's upside down. All right, so today we're using glaze coat. You can't use, there's different kinds of epoxy. You have deep pour, which is for anything over a little bit. And you have casting, which is, I don't know if there's a difference between that and deep pour. And then you have a coating or a table epoxy. It's just meant to give it a coat over the top. This stuff I particularly like because it claims to be self-healing, which means if you take your thumbnail and like put a gouge, not gouge, you can't remove anything, but if you just put an indentation in it and then come back in like 10 minutes, it fills itself back in. So it's pretty cool, it's resilient, pretty scratch resistant because again, it just fills it up. And this is a 50-50, so it's more like mixing honey than water like the other stuff. Amen. And we mix. Thicker. We all mix it. Time to pour it. I don't really know how much I'm going to need to cover the surface, so we'll just, feels weird. It's like smearing honey. It does make a huge difference once it gets like, look at there.
Oh yeah.
And then once you put it over it. Smells yummy.
You recommend wearing gloves?
I absolutely recommend. I don't know that you'd ever get this off yet. You want to, obviously you want to make sure that you're working with a level surface. First of all, it'll all run one way. And then after that, you pretty much just want to give it an even coat down around the edges so that as it does level off and drip down, it kind of goes everywhere. If you have a dry spot, it'll just run around it, which is weird. But
so if you just poured it on, it wouldn't spread itself out enough?
Probably not. You wouldn't be able to control where it went, but once you have the whole surface wet, not wet, it's probably not technically wet because it's not water, but once it's all covered and been touched with epoxy, it'll kind of just move evenly versus just running where it's already been wet, I think. And then you just have to keep going around. You don't have to go around and keep getting the bubbles or the drips off the edge. You can just let them harden there and sand them off the bottom. or that's kind of a personal preference kind of thing, but I think that's plenty. Looks fucking awesome. I do all the cool ass details. We'll give it a minute and I'll pop the bubbles again. Well, for the first time on this one, but second video of it. Don't want it too high. Whoop. Poppy, poppy. I don't know if you can see them at any given angle.
Not really. It just looks.
Yeah, you'd have to get low.
Yeah.
Well, now it's nice and even now. Maybe the heat helps it move. We'll pop more in a couple minutes. I'm sure that it'll change periodically, but so it looks like we're all nice and covered. Now I gotta cover it so that it doesn't get any more dust on it, and we'll show you the final product eventually.